Hello, it's Meg, and today we are going to be reading and exploring Chapter 5 in our book study, Abdullah, Teacher, Healer by Walter C. Lanyon. This early 20th century New Thought metaphysical classic has a lot of wonderful ideas on the concept of manifesting the reality you wish to live in and the way to live your life as truly a child of God. And that is what today's chapter is all about. Chapter 5 is called Now We Are the Sons of God. And before we get into too much of the content, I do want to say Walter C. Lanyon was writing at the very beginning of the 20th century, and it was a very big time for the patriarchy. As a matter of fact, women in America got the right to vote in 1920, and this book was written in 1921. So he does tend to refer to things from a masculine viewpoint and using masculine terminology. I am choosing to just sort of ignore that because that is the style of the time in which he was writing. So when he says you are the son of God, in my mind, I'm thinking you are the child of God. And I'm being purposely forgiving of this sort of terminology, understanding the time in which the book was written. And I think that's important, not to let his verbiage stop us from getting the messages he has to share with us. And in this chapter, we talk about being the children of the King, being the offspring of the Almighty Ruler, which we are. We are the heirs of the universe, and we are the children of God, or the higher being, or that higher power. And I think that that is a message that we've seen throughout Christianity. I think that was something Christ talked a lot about. We are all God's children, and the God is within all of us. And he talks about this happiness that comes to you as you realize the concept, I am, and you are filled with this wonderful wonderment and new life when you can say, I am that I am has sent me. I am. For you and I am are one. And what he's saying there is we are one with God, and God is one with us. And he really talks about using this I am affirmation, and he talks about saying it over and over, using it every day, doing it repetitively until you realize you truly are wealthy, joyous, happy, healthy. So I want to encourage everyone to try using this idea of the I am mantra. I am. And then say the condition that you wish to be in. And he really talked about being tied up in the weeds of fear, anxiety, unhappiness, and yeah, you have to really break away from all of that negative thinking. And he several times will tell us to awake, awake, awake. The blast of the King's trumpet is calling. So I believe he is really telling us that it's time for us to wake up. I really am opposed to people disliking the term woke, because, you know, if you're not awake, then you are asleep. And if you're asleep, you are not conscious of what's going on around you. So I think the people who are very anti sort of woke as a word or an idea, I feel very bad for them, because I think they're probably all asleep at the switch, and I would not want them to be operating the vehicle I was riding in. I don't want them being the pilot of my plane if they're asleep. So awake, 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 and rejoice and believe you are one with God. And this oneness with the ultimate power of the universe gives you the ability to manifest and draw to you everything you want. You are the child of the ultimate ruler of the universe. So sing your songs of praise and thanksgiving, and really appreciate that you are overlooking a life of infinite love, strength, peace, and harmony, and rejoice in that. And that truly is what this chapter is all about. Recognizing you and God are not separate. You are one. Your body is the living temple of God, and you are glorious and beautiful to behold. So, without further ado, let's dive into Chapter 5. Now are we the sons of God. Have you ever claimed your rightful position in life? Have you ever tried to feel that you are the son of a king, and that king, the most powerful and only king of the universe? If not, then just try it for the space of a few moments each day. And at the end of a month, you will have a nobility and power which has seemed too good to be true to you heretofore. When you think of the fact, I am the son of a king, something supreme and fine takes hold of you. You begin to realize a certain aristocracy, which is independence of crest, coat of arms, or family name. Suddenly and without warning, you feel yourself breaking through wall upon wall of doubt, limitation, fear, and worry. You throw off care and tear down the clinging vines of doubt, trampling underfoot such obnoxious weeds as fate and destiny. Oh, what a glorious feeling, what a new and perfect thrill comes over you when you realize that, after all, your earliest fairy tales are all possible and can come true. That you can at last live in the palace of the king, with abundance of love and life, with the king's treasury open to you, and you at your best, your finest, and in possession and giving expression to the wonderful gifts of love. And then you seek, as one having authority, you say as you fill your lungs with a wonderful new life, I am that I am has sent me. I am. You repeat it over and over, and slowly. A happy feeling comes to you that you are whatever I am is. For you and I am are one. Within the secret place of your being, you go and commune with the Father, and from this place you speak your I am out. I am healthy. I am wealthy. I am joyous. And I am happy. Oh, what a thrilling and joyous feeling comes when you begin with the I am process, and when you realize that you are a son of the Most High and are one with the Father. Your mind becomes supreme. Your actions become supreme. You were born to have dominion to rule. All things are placed under your feet. What are these deep, rank growths of weeds which have almost smothered you while you slept for a short moment? Their poisonous odors have almost lulled you into believing they were real, and that there was no escape from this awful condition. Yes, you say, my condition is this or that way. I am tied, so to speak. I can see no way out of it all. Every time I try to make a move forward, I get caught in the weeds until I am a most miserable thing, unhappy and burdened. Awake! 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 The blast of the king's trumpet is calling his son. Your condition is of supreme importance. Like the beauty who slept for 100 years in the palace, about which had grown up a massive forest, the prince, your divine heritage, has come to deliver you and claim you again. What a rejoicing there is in the palace and waste places when the stir of life and dominion has again set it in order. What rejoicing and thrilling your poor life feels when it comes in to its sonship. With one sweep of your mighty power, you cleanse from your mind all the binding thoughts which have held you in the pit and made you pay to the utmost farthing. You are supreme. You are supreme. Your palace or body is supreme. It is wonderful. It thrills with a new life. It glows with new strength. Your divine self comes forth and asserts its power. It searches the joints and marrow and chases all the shadow of fear and doubt, of sin and sickness out. Awake, awake, awake. The trumpet of your hour is again sounding. You are free. You are in power and have dominion. Rejoice and be glad. I am supreme. When you come into the knowledge that you are a son and are supreme, then you become a miracle worker or a demonstrator of this truth. Your faith, which was a grain of mustard, now flourishes as a mighty oak and covers 1,000,000 plains. You speak now with authority. Your I am advises and counsels you. As the idea is brought forth for manifestation or expression, be sure that the idea of life is fresh, glowing, and beautiful. Be sure it is kept youthful, for youth is growth in the right way. Life has no cognizance of time. It is eternal and cannot be blemished, wrinkled, or made the timetable of material age. Drop off that old belief that you are so many years old. You are supreme and eternal. You record nothing but eternal youth. What are the attributes of youth except strength, joy, and love? Have you these qualities in your makeup? Do you make people glad when you meet them? Do you radiate this spirit of youth? It is your providence. Begin being joyful. If you would be strong, don't hold before your mind the picture of a starving Armenian. Get a grip on Hercules. If you would be young, don't ponder the looks of Methuselah. Take youth and hold to it. Saturate your thinking with that which you wish to see manifested on your body. If you were looking for a certain color, say red, you would not keep thinking about purple, but red would be in your mind so that instantly when it came into view, you would recognize it. What you hold in mind will be drawn to you. Be sure you hold nobility in mind, for you are the child of a king. Forget, forgive, and bless all mankind. Rejoice and laugh. Refuse to ever accept any adverse condition. Keep smiling at them and refuse to let them grip you. I am a son of the King. I find myself free and joyous. I find myself happy and carefree. I find past conditions tumbling down and disappearing. No matter if I have dwelt in darkness and doubt, superstition and fear for years, one moment, and I am free. I loosen the chains which have bound me to these heavy weights, and they roll down the mountain into the deep pool of forgetfulness. I trace these wrong conditions back to that idea which brought them forth, and there loosen them and let them go. I free those who have been bound, and am thereby freed and blessed. O glorious life, one with God, one with my Father, and one with the whole universe. Sing songs of praise and thanksgiving. Give yourself and your body over to a glorious service of praise. Praise your wonderful body. Forgive it of all the evil things you have accused it of. Say to it, neither do I condemn thee. You are free. You are the temple of the living God. You are a glorious, radiant temple, beautiful to behold. I rejoice over thee. When you start this praise service, a herd of dirty, diseased, and sinful thoughts will scurry out of your mind, and with them superstition and fear, and enter the swine as a means of destruction. And you standing there overlooking the sea of infinite love and strength, rejoice, rejoice, rejoice. And that was chapter 5, and now we are the sons of God. And I hope everyone has been enjoying all of our chapters in this book study. I know it's a little old-fashioned, but I think some of the concepts still are true, and the ideas for manifesting still work perfectly today, even over 100 years later. And just a note on the writing in this story, I don't know, has anyone else noticed besides me, but somewhere around chapter 3, we completely lost our characters. Abdullah and Jethro, we haven't heard boo from them, and literally somewhere around chapter 3 and 4, it just becomes him writing his manifesto, saying his thoughts, and we completely lose the characters. So I'm not quite sure why they were there in the first place. Anybody have any thoughts on that one? So next time, please join us for our final chapter in our book study, chapter 6, In the Beginning, where we're going to talk a lot about faith and what that means. We're going to talk a lot about that relationship we have with God and the idea that we are one and we are not separate. And just a heads up, don't expect our characters to return, because I don't think we're going to see Abdullah or Jethro again in this story. So please join us next time for our final chapter in Abdullah, Teacher, Healer. And remember, in the words of Buddha, 1,000 candles can be lit by a single candle, and the life of the candle will not be shortened. Happiness never decreases by being shared. So thank you for sharing your time and attention with us here at Meg's Magical Mansion. Till next time.